It's Wednesday, whatever it takes Wednesday. So I really, really encourage you to look at Wednesday as a whatever it takes day to make the best day, to make it count, as opposed to just getting through the day. And I know there are cute commercials and people talk about hey, as whatever it takes. It just provides just a kind of like a re-energizing time, midweek, where we can get super clear on what it is we need to do, right? To do whatever it takes for the clients, for ourselves, for our families, as opposed to just going through the motion. And I equate it a lot to working out. And perhaps some of you can relate to that. I know when I was in high school, I really didn't like doing weights that often. We had to do weights because I was on the track and the cross country teams, but I really didn't like weights, especially like upper body weights. And so I would just go through the motions. I wasn't making every rep count. I was just going through the motions to do the minimum. And I feel that if we don't tell ourselves to do whatever it takes to make the day count, and let's face it, it's not just on Wednesdays. I just like to dedicate Wednesdays to whatever it takes as far as a theme. But obviously, we should be doing whatever it takes every day to make every day count. And, time being our greatest resource, why wouldn't we want to make every day, every moment count, right? In our lives, in our businesses. But Wednesday just seems to be a good day to dedicate that theme to. So that's where the whatever it takes comes from. But what I see is still, after doing over 4,400 coaching sessions since 2014, I still do see some people going through the motions. Maybe they are still working their corporate or their full-time gig and trying to transition into a part-time venture or another, launching a company, getting patents. There are many different reasons and many different clients that I have been working with over the years. Uh, but going through the motions, of course, does not yield the results. Sometimes it's because they're just trying things, or they are going through the motions because they are overwhelmed, because they have too many things going. So I'm not sure if into this can relate. However, I certainly can empathize with, if you can relate, or if you know someone that perhaps has too many irons in the fire, as the saying goes, or too many plates that are spinning. It's not a fun time to be in, because it is, let's face it, it's difficult to spin too many plates simultaneously. Usually some of them come crashing down, right? So then the question becomes, how do we decide what we should be doing? What we should be doing has to, of course, relate back to our goals. But when I'm helping clients scale or build or launch their businesses, we prioritize it according to the impacts and according to the revenue producing activities. Super important. Some things are nice to do, However, we need to make sure that if a company is trying to launch, build, or scale, that we are prioritizing those revenue producing activities. Super important. And I know that that can be really challenging, especially if or if the person in charge is, feeling alone, or perhaps doesn't have a confidant or a mentor or coach that can actually talk through that with them. So many of my clients tell me that it's so very helpful to not just have the accountability, of course, but to also have the trust and the peace of mind to know that if they have a top of mind challenge, they can, they have a solution. We can schedule a session and we can map out what the solution is. However, for purposes of this live session today, I really wanted to make sure that people knew that, and it sounds like, well, of course, you have to focus on revenue producing, but I don't see that all the time. I see some people that are resistant to sales. I see that they try to avoid the revenue producing activities. They try to avoid the networking, the that was my lip gloss. I mean, of course, I keep lip gloss at my desk. But anyways, a lot of people try to avoid the revenue producing activities, as I said, the networking, the cold calling. And of course, sometimes we are going to try to avoid those things that are most important. But you need to stop doing that because we won't get anywhere. It'll end up that that you are just working on a hobby as opposed to a business. And I know that's probably something that you don't want to hear if you can somehow relate to this. However, that is true. In order for a business to be built and scaled, it has to be run like a business. And of course, there has to be the procedures put in place, and things have to be done at the right time in the right order. It's not something that you can just kind of throw together. And I know that it can be difficult sometimes if you have a skeleton crew, but there are many companies that I've worked with that haven't had a skeleton crew, but still have not done the right thing at the right time or spent enough time with monetization. I know that there have been some times in history where if you had a very unique market dominating position or you had a unique product that people couldn't live with, it kind of was said that, the products were just flying off the shelves by themselves. In today's world, because the markets are so overcrowded, that usually doesn't happen. Or if it does happen, it's rare and it's not anything that you can really count on. That's why it's so important that you are open to hearing about and executing on the necessary strategies that are going to get you to where you want to be. Because every day I am talking to people that are not where they want to be, and some were not where they should be. But there is always a solution as long as we're willing to do whatever it takes. So I just wanted to pop on here today and remind you to choose to do whatever it takes as opposed to just doing whatever it takes to get through the day. And I hope this served as some type of a gentle reminder, or perhaps a call to action, which is super, super important. So you know, don't wait because It's the end of August, and we still have 4 months to make this the best year ever. If I can help you and be part of helping you make the best year ever, please send me a DM, and we will perhaps we'll schedule a sales audit. That's usually what the first step is, to see if you have the right sales systems and technology in place to be able to build and scale your business to where you want it to grow to. So I hope this was helpful. I would love to hear other ideas on specialty topics relating to sales, uh, motivation, educational, marketing, and any other subjects. I've done a lot of personal development. However, I was mentioning the other day when I popped on a live that if I don't feel that I have the level of expertise that's needed, then I will gladly reach out to one of my colleagues and bring them on LinkedIn Live with me, because my goal is to serve you, the audience, and I absolutely love, love, love hearing and receiving ideas and requests. And by the way, I forgot to mention that I'm not just broadcasting to LinkedIn, I'm also broadcasting to YouTube and Facebook. So thank you, everyone who is watching live, and thank you for everyone who is watching the replay. I appreciate it and do welcome your ideas. For some reason, the streaming service that I was using, I had trouble connecting my other accounts, but they were so helpful and gracious, and they helped me to connect Facebook and YouTube. So I wanted to welcome all of the viewers on YouTube and Facebook as well. I spend a lot, if not most of my time on LinkedIn. So if we are not already connected on LinkedIn, please let's connect. I love meeting new people and learning more about what you do. And if there are ways that we can work after we're connected, you can see my network. If there's someone in my network issue too, I'd be happy to do that as well in the DMs. So have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the week. And I look forward to talking with everybody soon.